Ladies and gentlemen, live on BT Sport, we now welcome to the ring our main event participants. First, from the Philippines, the Filipino Flash, Nonito, donaire.
I came here inspired by the fact that I'm fighting Carl in his hometown. You know, I've always thrived when I'm the underdog. We wake up, think, breathe, everything Carl right now. We know that when it really comes down to it, we're willing to give everything that we got, and we're willing to hurt each other. And I think that it's going to be a firework going into it. I think it's going to be an amazing fight.
Here he comes, nonito, donaire. And to say he's getting a slightly mixed reception would be an understatement. He's got a lot of affection since he's been over here, and he's shown a lot of affection for Ireland. But now he steps very much, so far as Frampton's concerned, into the lion's den. But he's been there so many times before. Been a great fighter over the years, professional since 2001, 16 world title fights in all, of which he's won 13. He really does believe that he has another great fight within him. Welcomed into the ring by his promoter, Richard Schaefer, and Frank Warren also. 35 years old, now based in Las Vegas in the United States. He's looked supremely confident all week. And I wonder what he's really thinking now.
When they told me I couldn't, I did it, I do it every day, I'm definitely inspired on fire up early in the morning, I'm building a legacy. I walk the path that God created, I'm motivated, I won't settle for less than greatness. Every day I'm training, I'm so determined.
And now let's welcome to the ring from right here, Belfast, Northern Ireland, Carl the Jackal frampton.
There's nothing like the buzz on a fight week in Belfast, and can't wait to get going now. A happy fighter is a dangerous fighter. My whole attitude has changed recently, and I'm enjoying it again. I know what I can do. I know that I can still beat any of the top featherweights in the world. I believe I'm going to be a world champion again.
Here he comes, and a wall of noise welcomes Carl Frampton. Says Nonito donaire is the greatest fighter from overseas ever to visit Ireland. He says he's the biggest name on his professional career. Is Frampton going to be able to come away from this as the winner and move on to his dream fight in August at Windsor Park? He might have to produce one of the performances of his career if he's going to do that. If he fights as he did against Horacio Garcia back in November, it could be a very, very difficult night for him indeed. There's not a spare seat in the house, 9,000 people. Their eyes trained on the entrance to the dressing rooms, from which in just a moment or two, Carl Frampton will emerge. He says this crowd, Barry, give him that extra level. They give him a boost. He says this is a huge advantage for him.
Well, listen to him, John, of course they do. How can you not be inspired by this sort of noise? You can see why they give that extra 10%. They give them when you're tired, they give that extra little bit of energy to throw that extra combination to get off the floor if it's needed to win a fight of this magnitude.
The fight of the weekend draws closer. Carl Frampton tonight at his 26th professional engagement, 31 years old, looking to scale the heights once more. The interim WBO Featherweight Championship of the world. Frampton says he's prepared with Jamie Moore better than he has before. He's got his nutrition right this time. He's made the weight comfortably, and now he says he is ready to go.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is now time for our featured bout. It is scheduled for 12 rounds, and it will be for the vacant WBO Interim Featherweight Championship of the World. Brought to you by Frank Warren on behalf of Queensberry Promotions in association with Ringstar Sports, along with their great sponsors, 32 Red, Foot Asylum, and Radon Steel. It is sanctioned by the British Boxing Board of Control. Steward in charge is John Williamson, along with the World Boxing Organization President Francisco Barcarcel. Supervisor is Dennis Gilmartin. Our three judges scoring on a 10-point must system will be Steve Gray of England, Zoltan Inyeti of Hungary, and Patrick Morley of the United States. Our referee in charge, third man in the ring, will be Marcus McDonald of England. And now, ladies and gentlemen, the time has arrived. Live from the SSE Arena here in Belfast, Northern Ireland, this is our main event of the evening. Introducing to you first fighting tonight out of the red corner. He's wearing black with orange and weighing in at 8 stone, 13 pounds. Coming to us from Las Vegas, Nevada, by way of General Santos City, Philippines, he brings a professional record of 38 wins, 4 defeats, with 24 of his 38 wins coming by way of knockout. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the multiple-time former world champion in 4 different weight divisions, the Filipino Flash, Nonito donaire. And his opponent across the ring in this main event, fighting tonight out of the blue corner. He's wearing blue with white and gold, and weighing in the same as his opponent, 8 stone, 13 pounds. Hailing from right here, Belfast, Northern Ireland. His professional record consists of 24 wins, just 1 defeat, with 14 wins coming by way of knockout. Ladies and gentlemen, here is the former unified world super bantamweight champion and former WBA super world featherweight champion, Carl the Jackal Frampton.
A spine-tingling reception. Now Marcus McDonald with final advice.
What I expect, I up this at all times, obey my instructions, watch your ears, keep it clean. Any questions? Let's go to work.
Carl Frampton wanted Nonito donaire. Nonito donaire said, I wanted Carl Frampton. He's looking to reinvent his career. Frampton looking to move towards his dream fight at Windsor Park. It could be spectacular. Donaire can bang. He's got the reach advantage. Frampton might have to produce an absolutely vintage performance.
I think it's important for Donaire as well to make Frampton feel his power early, just silence the crowd a little bit. And for Frampton, I think it's important that he'd be precise and sure with every punch, John. But donaire, if you miss with donaire, he'll make you pay with power.
Interesting shorts that donaire's chosen to wear. You can see he stands taller, donaire, although he's only about half an inch taller, but he looks a lot more.
Nice little short left hook there from Frampton. Donaire just a little bit wide with his hooks, and Frampton staying nice and low.
Frampton said earlier this week a lot's made of that much vaunted left hook of donaire, but to just describe him as a man with a big left hook is a little bit disrespectful and sells him very much short. He says his right hand has won him so many of his big fights.
And that's the worry with Carl having his left hand low, and if he misses with the jab, and it's the right hand conquered of donaire, which is all the trouble with. He lets you throw that jab, you miss, and he got such long arms, makes you pay.
Donaire, who's been training with a great bantamweight of years gone by, Clarence Bones Adams, as well as Mike Basil, who's his chief cornerman, with him for a 21st time, Mike.
Nice little body shots here from donaire.
Carl Frampton, he's been working for a second time with Jamie Moore. And he says this time preparations have been absolutely right.
Well, training with a new trainer is one thing when you get used to each other, but having him in your corner, that's important. You got that first fight out of the way.
Well, it's a respectful first few minutes. There's a decent body shot from donaire. There's a real firecracker start from Frampton in his last contest against Garcia, and he maybe went off a little bit too quickly because he was blowing after the first 3 or 4 rounds.
This will be a little bit more measured because you don't want to make any mistakes. Good body shot there from Frampton with the left hook, but a good left hook back from donaire.
Signs in the early stages of this fight, in this first round, that the styles of these two men could gel.
That's good for Frampton. Through the jab, he wasn't too sure he could follow up, so just use the feet to get out of trouble. Don't hold your feet. If you're not going to throw, you can't hold your feet in front of donaire. That's for sure. But if you're constantly changing the angle.
So the first round just about over, and it's a tight first round. A lot of mutual respect.
He's going to look for something early. He's going to try and get lucky. Yeah, don't let him. Breathe. Again. Good again.
Adrenaline up there.
Over there, top down.
It's just a little nosebleed.
Just suck out.
It's nothing. Suck up. Perfect. Keep it like that. Be careful of them stabs downstairs. I'd rather you now, when you're not here.
Close first round, and Jamie Moore's been saying to Carl Frampton, don't let him get lucky. Don't give him the chance.
Well, that's the thing. You can't hold your feet in front of the net. You've got to keep constantly moving around the target with him, because he will. You throw, you miss, and you hit, and he's going to throw back in combinations.
Close opening round.
Yeah, it could have gone anywhere, John. I just like Carl's work just a little bit more. That's all. Nothing much in it.
Tight one. I'm sure that the Filipinos watching will think that Nonito donaire won that opening round.
Good jab there from Frampton. Just catching donaire coming forward.
Frampton, is he really more naturally the featherweight than donaire is? And he's putting the power on here. And he's unloading, bit of head work going in, and Marcus McDonald sees it and tells him.
Just a little welt underneath the left eye there of donaire as well, and that was the right hand of Carl Frampton.
It's not taken long for that to happen.
I say a little welt, it's getting worse for the second.
They're going to have to work in the corner on that. When he moves towards us, you'll see that is swelling up already.
Good
that left eye.
Good left hook from Carl Frampton as well in that little exchange.
Looks so focused, Carl Frampton.
Donaire got to feint with that front foot and then throw that right hand over the top. With Frampton with that left hand low, that's the shot to start the combinations off for Donaire.
Left eye damage is significant. Mike Basil will be the man who works away on that one.
It's good from Frampton. Well, what's good for Frampton is he's keeping his feet in front of Donaire, seeing that he can't, there's nothing going on, he's moving, he's not holding his feet too long without throwing any punches.
Well, the first round was a close one, but Frampton's been dominating this second. Donaire trying to walk him down in those extraordinary shorts.
Good right hand there from Frampton. Nice short right hand. Got to be careful bringing that right foot forward though. From the left hook of Donaire.
He's trying to bring his punches up here, Donaire, when he gets in range. Detonates, he's looking for the left uppercut. And all the time, the swelling around that left eye is worsening.
Good shot there from Frampton again. Just a little bit sharp but off the mark at the minute is Cal Frampton.
Stop boxing! Step away, Cole, step away. Hands up, go.
Frampton, we reckon, got caught by an uppercut in the exchanges in that second round, but Donaire goes back to the corner and he's the one with the facial damage. Barry indicating that that is a round to Carl Frampton.
Oh, good right hand there from Frampton, but the danger punch from Donaire just missing by inches there, that uppercut.
Good round.
See, staying low is dangerous for the uppercut. Oh, good shot there from Donaire, that landed. That's not too bad.
Well, they've had the iron on it, so they've taken away some of the swelling as it was, but it's not perhaps as bad as we first feared. Bill blinking a little bit uncomfortably.
Yeah, that's fine, Alex. That's only because it's still pulsing probably right now. That's fine.
Third round underway.
That's better from Donaire, just a little more bounce in his step, get a bit of rhythm in his work, get that jab working. Oh, lovely there from Frampton. Just a little stutter step before he threw that right hand.
Looking very confident here, Carl Frampton.
Looking sharp, and that's what I said earlier, John, and precise with every punch. He knows he can't give Donaire any openings, and make any mistakes.
Jamie Moore was telling me he's done a lot of quality sparring with a guy they found over in Philadelphia, undefeated young prospect called Steve Fulton, and he's put in some really good work with him.
It's good from Donaire there, that's that lead right hand we're so familiar with.
Donaire being implored to use his jab. A bit more snap in the work of Frampton so far.
Yeah, he's just a little bit sharper, isn't he, out of the two? And that's good.
And again, the decibels raise.
Again, good there for Frampton. In and out with the feet. Landing the shots, getting out of trouble. Again, the reaction just a little bit slow there from Donaire with that right hand. He had the opportunity to land, it just took too long to throw it.
He was clipped by a left as well as they went away from that exchange. Good shot, good body shot, Frampton.
Boxing clever here, Cal. not overplaying his hand. He's the sharper of the two, certainly at the minute. Picking his punches, making sure he gets out the trouble there. Good distance there from him. Boxing well.
He was around 5-1 on with the bookies, Frampton.
That was the shot for donaire. Just landed with it. Frampton threw a lazy jab, but a good right hand back.
Dominated this round, Frampton. Donaire, though, has power in both sides.
I'm more impressed with Frampton's control, because he landed with a couple of good shots there and he didn't go mad, didn't get hungry on his success. You know, he took his time. He got good shots. Stick to my plan, but he knows donaire can be dangerous.
3 rounds over, and that was a good one for Carl Frampton.
One more round like that. See, he's starting to bust them up now. You're going to be more comfortable on front foot. But once I'm going to start, the last minute of this round now, when you start, use your pants.
Thank you, man. It's on the bridge of the nose.
30 seconds.
Nothing.
Keep your left hand up. Okay?
See the damage around the face there of Nonito donaire, swelling around the left eye and a nick on the nose now. Good round that for Frampton.
Really good display. You know, he landed with some quality shots, control with his display. He's boxing very well at the minute.
Everything that he and coach Jamie Moore could have hoped for at this stage for Carl Frampton, and of course his legion of fans. Real snap about his work tonight so far. He looked good for the first 4 rounds though against Horacio Garcia. It was around about this stage that Frampton began to lose his way a bit in November.
Well, with that, listen, the pattern of the fight might change, John, but that'll be because of donaire. I don't think Frampton will stay as sharp as he is, but donaire, you know, he's been a quality fighter, and he'll know how to turn it on and change the pattern of a fight. He's probably done it before. But Frampton, you know, again, he's quick off the mark than donaire.
Well, donaire's going to have to find something a lot more special than he's been able to produce just so far.
See, these little walk-arounds that Frampton's doing, all he's doing is just changing the angle ever so slightly, which means donaire got to reset himself. Good shot. And again, lovely work from Frampton.
Straight shots are serving him well. He's beating donaire to the punch.
Got to be careful of that left hook though when he's throwing combinations. Got to stay as low as he can. He's got to turn out from a different angle when he's retreating.
Donaire only just off target with that fast right hand. The crowd very happy to be walking in a Frampton wonderland at the moment.
Far off with that right hand there, donaire.
There'll be some twists and turns yet of that, I'm pretty much certain.
You can see they've studied that left hook though. You see where Frampton, oh, good shot.
That chopping right hand was a big one. Donaire takes it well.
Good body shot as well there from Frampton.
Quality work from the Irishman. And another one into the side of the head of donaire, who's under sustained pressure in this 4th round, trying to bring his punches up off the ropes.
See Frampton staying low, but he got his arms together, so he's blocking. He knows the uppercuts are going to come, so he got his gloves together. He's blocking most of those shots.
Showing physical strength there, pushing donaire back. There you saw him keeping low there, Frampton, making donaire miss and then punishing him with that 3-punch salvo.
Oh, nice little uppercut there, in close though from donaire.
Good round again though for Carl Frampton, and And it is all going to plan for the Irishman so far.
Boxing fantastic, that round again. The pressure increased it. Second by second, he's looking very, very sharp.
Let's look again at some of the action from that round.
Good accuracy there from Frampton. Donaire looking to dip low, and he just, Frampton saw it, caught him on top of the head, straight away with that right hand. This was good work in close, that short little right hand, chopping right hand over the top. And smothered in the work of Donaire, not allowing him to get any purchase in those uppercuts. It's a fantastic display so far from Frampton. Tactically very, very clever.
He looks physically strong tonight, Frampton.
But he's not getting carried away with his success.
So much noise in the crowd, you can barely hear what's going on in the corners. Jamie Moore, I'm sure, though, will be very pleased with what he's seen so far. Into the fifth.
But I think the discipline that Carl's showing, that Frampton is showing, I think that's important as well. I think he has to continue that a little bit longer as well before he really goes for it. But he's dominating at the minute. That's what Donaire needs, just a little bit on the balls of his feet, get a bit of rhythm in his work.
His last defeat was in November 2016, Donaire. It's taken good men to beat him in the past. Had one early in his career, which was kind of when he was still in the learning curve, but then there's last three: Guillermo Rigondeaux, Nicholas Walters, who was a terrific fighter, and Jesse Magdaleno. You know, those are good names.
Yeah.
Crowd believe that they're on their way to seeing a Frampton victory, though. Quite a start to this fifth round.
That's good. Good right hand, though. Because he can sort of do that, because he's the sharper of the two, certainly so far, and he can take his time. Good. He's trying to turn Donaire as well while he's pushing him back. It's Carl Frampton.
Donaire not really getting too much success with his big hooks. That's another quality jab from Frampton.
But they're just a little bit wide, aren't they, the hooks?
When he's in close, you feel that Frampton physically is bossing this fight.
Yeah, he is. I just think that is the natural size difference. Even though Donaire looks big, he's coming up from the lower weights. Just doesn't have the same natural strength as Carl Frampton has.
That's a fast right uppercut, though, from Donaire. That's a danger shot.
Needs to come back with the left hook, though, Donaire, when he lands with a shot. Oh, good shot there, Phil, from Nonito Donaire.
Just a little movement to the right to give him space to let that left hand, the danger punch, go. Frampton's right in his face, but Donaire's having success. That's two brilliant uppercuts from Donaire. Best punches the Filipinos landed so far.
See, Frampton's been pushing him back, so when Donaire's been throwing the uppercuts, he's been having to lean back and not get the purchase on the punches he would like, but then he held his feet a little bit. Lovely little shots there from Donaire. Good jab though there, back from Frampton.
Donaire, finally though, he's landed with a couple of punches which Frampton will have felt. And Frampton content to just give a little ground in the closing seconds of this round. Good right hand from Frampton, final scoring shot of the round.
That's it again. You all right?
Welcome back to the SSE Arena. Quality work from Donaire, working off the ropes. Look at that, good uppercut and another one, and Frampton felt those.
There was three on a shot, wasn't it? One right uppercut, two left uppercuts, and that's sort of almost vintage Donaire.
Seconds out. Line 6.
Maybe the clearest scoring shots of the round. But Barry, nevertheless, gives it to Carl Frampton.
I didn't think that was just one little pocket of success that he had. I think throughout the round, Frampton was doing the better work. But Donaire needed a little bit of success. Oh, something. Donaire sort of looked at the floor then. Lost concentration for a second.
So that was a look down. And now the action underway again. Nonito Donaire in his 43rd professional fight tonight. Stoppage ratio is very similar between the two of them. Mid-50s in percentage terms.
But you think that Donaire is the single punch?
That's a good punch from Frampton. Donaire takes it well though.
Oh, good shot, and the footwork there from Frampton. I think what Donaire's finding out is that single punches are not going to be enough. He needs to start putting them together in combinations, which he's more than capable of doing.
He's going to have to start putting some rounds together though, Nonito Donaire, or this fight is nearing the halfway stage. And well, the first round was close. That last one, he had his moments of success, but was it enough to have taken the rounds? And that's a best case scenario for him.
I think so.
Trying to narrow the gap, trying to work away to get an opening, but Frampton is not providing them, showing good mobility and oh, that's a good jab though from Donaire.
Fantastic. That was Frampton just too concerned with mounting an attack and not thinking about anything coming back. Got to be careful jumping in like that, Frampton. You can see Donaire trying to do that lean back left hook.
Frampton's looking for the big right hand and he's looking to target that damaged left eye.
Big shot, body shot there from Donaire.
Still dangerous, Nonito Donaire. No knockdown. Marcus McDonald giving Nonito a little bit of time just to compose himself. And so we reach the halfway stage.
Every time you make a move towards him, you feint your right hand, he backs away. You got to use that to your advantage, okay?
Starting to get a bit worried in that Donaire corner. Wife Rachel, interestingly, among those giving advice in that corner.
Oh, good shot there from Frampton. Lovely punch.
Seconds out. Right 7.
So into the second half of the fight. And Barry's scored every round so far to Carl Frampton.
I think he's boxed well, John. I think he's been controlled.
First and the fifth were close.
Yeah, the first could have gone either way. Maybe an even round could have won much in. I just like a few punches Frampton landed with.
How much belief does Donaire still have?
When you can punch, you always have belief you can put a fight out of the bag. I'm pretty sure of that.
expected to be under pressure in the early stages, Donaire, but I'm sure he didn't expect to be surrendering as many rounds as he maybe has.
I think I've been impressed with Cal not getting over-eager, not trying too hard to get the knockout or the stoppage, where he's been throwing his punches and then having success and just taking a little walk away.
Oh, he's turned away there. He's turned away, Donaire. Now, what was that about?
He got something on the top, just above his eye on the forehead. I don't know whether they clashed heads. When they got close there, I didn't see it. Oh, good uppercut there from Donaire.
Just for a moment, I thought he was going to turn his back on it. Face all the time is marking up more and more nonito Donaire as he ships more and more punishment. Good left hand from Frampton.
Lovely little hook come uppercut there from Frampton.
Frampton going to work at the head again. Donaire trying to bring those uppercuts in as he fights off the ropes. Landed with oh, that's a good uppercut from Donaire, and another one. And Frampton's in trouble. He was in trouble momentarily with that uppercut. And Donaire, is he turning it around? That is the most anxious moment of the fight so far for Frampton, but he comes firing back himself.
Good 1-2 there, though, from Frampton as a response.
Tremendous uppercuts from Donaire.
Oh, that wobbled Frampton, that they really wobbled him.
Most anxious moments so far for Carl Frampton. This will test his fitness and his preparations.
To his credit, he's gone back to work. And straight back to work.
Donaire not feeling that he'd had him going enough to really launch an all-out assault. But an interesting round. Donaire take that one?
No, John, not for me. I think all the better work came from Frampton. I think that was the one shot from Donaire, which was the best shot maybe of the fight. But I think all the work, all the good work came from Carl Frampton. One shot doesn't make enough.
He's in a bad way. He's cut over the right eye now as well. Punches, I think, did the damage. I'm not sure it was a clash of heads. Let's have a look. Is that where it was?
That looked like a clash of heads.
Maybe it was. Yeah, maybe. Oh, yeah. That's where he turned away and dabbed uncomfortably at the injury.
But only the referee can sort of do that for you, you know. So he's going to see this lovely uppercut here from Donaire. Oh, right on the button.
Not happy. He says it was the heads that did it. No deliberate intent from Carl Frampton.
Seconds out. I'm here.
Into the 8th round. Frampton way ahead on points, but an anxious moment in that last round.
Yes, well, no, it's competitive. Every round's competitive. I just think he's doing enough, and I think the first and the 5th you could have given to Donaire, and that would be fair enough. But I think every other round, I think, have been Frampton quite comfortable, to be honest.
Signs of the power of Donaire in that last round, but that's how Barry's got it. Frampton by shutout so far.
And it makes it sound like he's just schooling Donaire, and he's not. But he's boxing. I think Frampton's boxing very well. But the last few rounds have been signs Donaire, you know, in the last lovely 1-2 there from Frampton.
There was a feeling that if Frampton was going to win this one, it would be maybe on points. If he goes to stop it, odds of around 5-2 were being quoted on us, a knockout or a TKO in Frampton's favour. Of course, Donaire, big outsider, 9-2 against. Good work.
Sorry, I know Frampton's trying to crowd him and push him back, but he's better off being here because I think he's having more. He's sharper of the two off the mark. He's having more success from range. Donaire's a little bit slower than he used to be, and he stays away from those uppercuts. Most importantly,
Frampton leaping in again there.
Donaire needs to feint a little bit with his feet. He needs to draw the lead of Frampton. And then get that lean back left hook he throws, or that overhand right counter that's been so effective for him in the past.
Donaire trying to find that right hand after Frampton had thrown his left. He does tend to keep that left hand low, Frampton, as you see.
But again, even using the footwork right in and out, I think it's been so far, unless Donaire has a fantastic finish to this round, it's been not a comfortable round for Frampton, but a round that I think he's a clear winner so far.
He's boxed well tonight. Donaire wanted to roll back the years and find another great performance, one which would have been somewhere from his vintage, which was maybe 5 or 6 years ago. So far he's not been able to find it.
Just glimpses every now and again that he might just have a little bit left of that spark.
Touch of gloves, Frampton increases his hold seemingly on this match.
I think he boxed extremely well so far.
Let's start getting more twitching now. Yeah. Start on your feet more, throwing in more feints, dropping your coat down.
Rory McIlroy happy with how his friend's progressing.
Posting now, yeah? So let's make yourself work, but you're not taking too many risks. Yeah. You've got to find that balance, yeah? Very, very good.
Moving to your left and trying to shoot the right hand. Just take that little step. When he leaves his left hand out, he's doing it.
And there we are, he's looking for that right hand. He's been told to go looking for it when he leaves that left hand low. But he's been looking for it for 8 rounds and he hasn't found it. It's Frampton's fight to lose now, this.
He needs just a bigger feint with the front foot than he did Donaire. That's what he needs to draw the lead of Frampton, and then he gets that right hand in. And I think the advice in the corner for Frampton was spot on. You know, trying to increase the work rate a little bit without taking any silly risks. And I think the discipline that's been good tonight for Frampton, and that's been the key so far to why he's ahead. And he is ahead. He might not be every round the guy had it, but he's lost 2 rounds at most.
Donaire's shown a good chin. He's not looked as though he's been particularly wobbled at any stage, but he's taken a lot of punishment, particularly to the head.
Yeah, but the thing is, he's always dangerous. As we've seen with the single shots, he's always dangerous. You always have to be mentally switched on. And as sharp as you can possibly be. And that's why you have to, the fitter you are, the mentally sharper you are, and the more you can keep that plan and that discipline in motion.
May the 19th is the IBF title fight. Lee Selby defending against Josh Warrington. And Selby's already indicated this week that he is ready to come to Ireland to fight Carl Frampton. He'd be only too happy to take that fight.
Well, he'd have no choice really if he wanted to fight him. He'd have to come to Ireland. That's good, well, good work. He did well to back away as well. He was getting close again, landed with a few good shots, but he's only going to walk onto an uppercut staying too close. This is the range for Frampton, right here. And Donaire got to quicken that feet up. Those feet up, I should say.
Donaire's going to have to gamble. Getting to the stage of the fight now where he must surely know he's a mile behind on points.
But he got a longer reach. If he doubles up the jab and quickens the feet up, then he can get the longer right hand on target.
Fast body shots from Frampton. As Frampton maybe thinking he's done enough and just box your way now to victory. Why gamble to try and finish the man?
Be careful there, heads clashing close. He's done enough in this round again. He's put the pressure on Donaire. He's outboxed him down with the better punches. And nothing's been massively standing out, but he's done enough to win. So you take a bit of a rest.
It's another round for Frampton for me, that one.
Winning everything, John, for me. I think, you know, even those couple of close rounds, I think he just edged there.
It's been the hottest ticket in town for a long time, the crowd getting what they hope to see.
That's good there, putting the punches together effectively there, Frampton. Nice little good rhythm to his work. Just got to be careful when he's doing that coming forward. That's the danger for him, and allows Donaire to throw those uppercuts and hopefully land.
You call it on the inside.
Yeah. Breathe. Donaire up off his stool very early, ready to go.
Seconds out, round 10.
Getting around to now or never time for the Filipino. Carl Frampton has outboxed him and he's looked the stronger man.
Yeah, he has. But Donaire still looks the man with more one-punch power. So I keep saying, he wants to stay this distance for Frampton.
So Barry sees it. Frampton by a long way. Perfect card in score terms for Frampton, if the judges see it the same. One American judge, one Hungarian judge, and one British judge.
So he's just lost a bit of pace, doesn't he, Donaire? A little bit in his legs, and he just can't get the Frampton quick enough. Oh, good shot.
Frampton's getting in and out, and he's just not there for the counters to be thrown.
But Donaire, you think Donaire a few years back would have been able to chase him down when he moved back?
Well, maybe
jumping in on the tag or the target quicker, but he just can't do it. So he needs Carl Frampton to come on to him.
And Frampton will be, I think, too cute, too shrewd, and too long in the tooth to allow himself to be suckered in at this stage.
Yeah, and Frampton's sort of relatively fresh as well, which is a worry for Donaire, because the chances are he was hoping that Carl Frampton would be tired right now and he could maybe capitalise on a few mistakes he's going to make.
Donaire trying to walk him down for the opportunity to land the big left hand. Frampton having none of it, staying fleet-footed.
Yeah, you just want to be careful not to run around too much, and before you know, Donaire walks you down, your back's on the ropes, and then you're maybe in trouble.
That's that left hand whistled through thin air.
You can see the power on the cardio, the speed of the shot, and he lets it go, puts everything in it. Donaire.
Could signal the end of a long and distinguished career if Donaire loses tonight.
Yeah, he's been fantastic, hasn't he? Throughout his career, really has.
First won that world title, might be a flyweight world title, way back in 2007. And another clear round for Frampton. I think Donaire, to an extent, looks as though he's run out of ideas, and he's hoping that Frampton makes some sort of mistake and just gets lazy.
You just haven't got the legs anymore, have you, for the energy to, you know, to get that bounce in his step, to be pushing pressure on Cal, to let his punches go with, you know, with all that tenacity. He just hasn't got it anymore. Maybe just a long career. And Carl Frampton's been very sharp and disciplined as well. And it hasn't been comfortable for Carl Frampton, but he's winning, for me, everything.
He's made donaire look a little bit shot-worn tonight. 2 rounds to go.
John, when you have the punching power of donaire,
there's always the chance.
Yeah, that never leaves you. So I think, again, I said it earlier on, but the discipline and the control for Frampton in these last 2 rounds may be more important than any time of the fight. Because even if you did give donaire a couple of rounds, he's still a mile behind. So you don't want to give away anything now for Frampton. Just be very, very cautious.
And the only way he wins is to stop him. And there was just those moments on the ropes a few rounds back. Was it in the 7th where he brought those uppercuts in?
He heard him, you can see it. But then to Frampton's credit, he just carried on punching, tried to work through it.
And which he did.
And for me, still won the round.
It tested his conditioning, powers of recovery, and he showed that they were good. Pushing down from donaire. Frampton, I think, guilty of ducking low, which the referee pulled him up on as well. Not allowed to go below waist height.
This is the double jab for donaire. Hasn't been using it enough, but you just saw that he can land with it because he's got the longer reach and a good rhythm to his work as well when he lets his hands go. So I just confused why he hadn't done that a few rounds ago, earlier.
Decent body shot from the Filipino. Frampton, you sense, is convinced that he's done enough now, and he's just trying to box his way through.
Nice jab there from Frampton. Oh, good right hand as well, and a little spin off the front foot.
Goes down as a good performance for Frampton.
Yeah, it does. And listen, 3 years earlier, this would have been a better fight for donaire, for sure, and for Frampton maybe, but he still beat a guy who can still be dangerous, a Hall of Famer.
No knockdown. Pushed over by Frampton. El Toro style. And he's being... I thought for a moment he was going to take a point off him, but he certainly made his point. All caught by a right hand, and a body shot coming in as well from donaire.
Oh, good left hook as well.
Which is better from donaire. And he's going looking for him. Closing seconds of the 11th. At last he finds the target. Oh. Another big left hand from donaire. Frampton again takes the power of Nonito donaire. Crowd just a little bit hushed in those last few seconds of round 11. Donaire still shows that he has power.
You know this. You play your fucking game, not his game.
That's right. Sorry about the language from Mrs. Donaire. She is a feisty lady.
Look, it started with a lovely right hook to the body from donaire, and then a lovely left hook as well to follow. Look at that, good shot. And then he kept throwing those in there. That was a good, I think he finished the round strong, and that was the first round I've given him.
Well, he's going to have to do more of the same. Here's Jamie Moore.
Don't run. Pa. Pa. Yeah? Timing and distance. Yeah? Yeah. Foot pushing into the front now. He's in the middle now. Foot pushing from the front now. Yeah? Nice, sharp last round. Eyes wide open. Feet and feet active.
So just 1 round to go, and the crowd rise to appreciate their hero. The 2 touch gloves, I tell you what, it's been fought and indeed built up in the most gentlemanly of manners between two fine fighters, but it looks very much, despite those rocky moments in the 11th, as though Carl Frampton is going to win this one, but Donaire will go for broke here.
He's not in the woods yet, John, even though he's winning everything, and he can only really give Donaire 3 rounds at best, for me. Oh, but like we said, he's always dangerous because he got that power.
Right uppercut and a left hook from Donaire, found the target there.
That uppercut, and he's got the bit between his teeth now, hasn't he, Donaire?
Still fancying it. Time is running out, though. Frampton just become a little bit more vulnerable in the latter stages of this contest.
Be careful moving around. Donaire can jump in with that left hook. Good right hand though from Frampton.
Bounces off Donaire though, didn't it? He's not hurt by that. There's another left hand from Donaire. He's trying to walk Frampton down, get him into range for big shots.
Good right hand as well there, just around the ear there from Donaire. Goes in the range, John.
Frampton, you heard Jamie Moore say, keep the distance, but make sure you keep working.
Looking tired now, isn't he, Frampton?
He is, and Donaire is winning this last round so far. But he needs more than just to take the round. He needs to put Frampton down. He needs to stop him.
Just a little bit short with that right hand there, Frampton.
Coming up towards the last 30 seconds. Frampton is just that time away now from victory, surely.
Tired now as well, Frampton's looking to survive. He's got enough rounds in the bank to win the fight. He's got to make sure he doesn't leave his chin hanging out.
His corner and his promoter, Frank Warren, imploring him to let his shots go, and here he comes. Here's the grandstand finish from Frampton. Big attack from Frampton, and there goes the final bell, and the two embrace. Another tremendous display of sportsmanship, but surely there can be no doubt Frampton has produced another tremendous performance and another victory.
I thought he was tremendous after the lackluster, I guess, performance it was called in his last fight tonight. He was sharp, accurate, disciplined, did everything right. The crowd knows the winner. And Donaire rallied a little bit late, but I think there's 4 rounds of best you can give Donaire tonight. I think Donaire's just lost a little bit of pace, and he showed against a sharper Carl Frampton tonight, who I thought was one of his best displays. And now that Windsor Park fight looks like it's going to happen for him, John.
Some of the words a little bit over-emphatic from Carl Frampton. Apologise if you're offended by those, but you can kind of appreciate in the drama of the moment at the end of a gruelling fight a sense of justifiable relief for Carl Frampton. Donaire with his promoter Richard Schaefer, and maybe at the age of 35, after so many great nights, he might say enough now is enough.
He's had a Hall of Fame career, and if this is his last fight, he's lost to a really good fighter, so there's no shame, and he's been a pleasure to watch. And he showed glimpses of the old Donaire, but he just couldn't sustain it. And I think he was well beaten tonight.
He only came on strong, really, in the closing stages when Frampton, perhaps aware that the work had been done, went into, if not survival mode, he was certainly coasting a little bit for the last 2-3 rounds, but it was by then the work had been done. So we can go into the ring now, because Thomas Schreiber has the judges' deliberations, and we can find out now what the scorecards are.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 12 rounds of boxing, we go to the judges' scorecards, and all three judges, Steve Gray, Zoltan Inyeti, and Patrick Morley, score it the same, 1-17. All in favor of your winner by unanimous decision. And now the WBO interim featherweight champion of the world, from right here, Belfast, Northern Ireland, Carl the Jackal Frampton.
By a 6-point margin on all three cards, Carl Frampton the winner. Belfast celebrates. Nonito Donaire, dangerous, yes, but ultimately very well beaten by the Belfast hero. The WBO belt is around his waist, and he can move on now because Windsor Park beckons.
He's lived up to every word. He told the Belfast newspaper reporters this week he would deliver a performance that would be remembered for 30 years, and you can file that right at the top drawer. Career best nights so far. He has turned it all around tonight. Some doubted whether he still had it. We now... Anthony Joshua, so composed and controlled when he got in front in his last big test at world level. The same sort of feel, I think, in the second half of this fight, Steve, by Carl Frampton here tonight.
He was quite brilliant. He was as good, if not better, than he was in that hot summer fight against Leo Santa Cruz in New York. And then he started to calm down and settle down, and he coasted. There were rounds there where he boxed brilliantly, not having to do a lot, just flicking out once or twice, but more than that, staying out of Donaire's range and danger, because it's clear, it's obvious, Richie, from the very first round that Donaire could hurt him with every punch he threw.
Absolutely clever display there from Frampton, and what impressed me also was his mental discipline. He had to stay really disciplined there throughout that contest against a very dangerous opponent, and I thought the tactics were excellent in bringing Donaire onto his punches. I thought it was just like the Leo Santa Cruz first fight, Paul, and when Frampton actually went to him on the inside, that's when he was a little bit vulnerable and got caught with the odd shot. But you got to remember, Donaire's a world-class operator, so that for me is a brilliant display compared to his last performance. Let's remember, he wasn't quite up to much, was he, Carl Frampton? But this time, that was the real deal. That was the real Carl Frampton.
But he couldn't have done that without the 10 rounds in November.
Thank you, fellas. Ronald McIntosh is in there, and he will speak to Carl now.
Carl Frampton, congratulations. You are now the interim WBO featherweight champion of the world. In the lead up to this contest against the former four-weight world champ, you promised a performance that would be remembered for decades to come. You've delivered a masterclass tonight. What are your thoughts and feelings?
But look, I survived the round. I stuck to a game plan. I think at times my boxing was beautiful. Only one thing on my mind at the minute, Windsor Park, and I can't wait. I can't wait to get there.
That's all in the future. Let's reflect a little more on tonight, because as you say, he had some success in the 11th round. He appeared to have some success in round number 7 as well. How badly shaken up, if at all, how hurtful were his punches when he caught you on the ropes with those uppercuts?
He was a sharp puncher throughout, and the 11th round, I was definitely hurt. You'll admit it. People could see it. You know, I'm not going to deny it. I was hurt, but I survived it, and that's what champions do. They survive. And Nonito Donaire, I'd just like to say what a nice man, and his team and everyone around him, good people. And can I say one thing as well? My wife Christine and her family, they've had a pretty rough time recently. We have a few deaths in the family, and the anniversary of her father the other day as well. I wanted to come out to a song, Something Inside So Strong, and some idiot played the wrong tune. So, listen, I won the fight, Windsor Park, let's do it.
Most certainly the display that you produced, it was composed, it was cool, you controlled things both from distance, you appeared physically stronger on the inside. How important was the game plan that you put together with Jamie Moore, and how pleased are you that you were able to stay disciplined and implement it so effectively?
I think Jamie deserves a lot of credit. The game plan was perfect, and we stuck to certain shots throughout the whole camp. And when I was out on the outside, I was using my jab to the head and body, which is what we were doing in the gym. When it got close, I needed to be really close and use my strength, which I done. I wasn't really in the middle distance too much, and when I was in the middle distance, I got caught. But look, I was fighting a world-class puncher, a world-class fighter, and I was a world-class gentleman. And look, I credit to Jamie for coming up with such a game plan.
Carl, stick with us. We will speak to you more about the future in a moment. Jamie, if you could come in and have a word. Your second camp with Carl Frampton, the first fight you had just 7 weeks together, and you said in the lead up to this one, you learned far more about one another. What was it that you learned, and how were you able to implement it tonight to produce the performance that Carl executed so well?
I just think that a fighter like Carl, or any fighter for that matter, they have certain habits, certain ways they move. I learned a lot more about him in this camp. Mentally, physically, all round. But, you know, for him to be able to carry that game plan out, it takes a lot of skill. It takes a lot of patience, focus, and he carried it out to a T. I've got to say, you know, Nonito Donaire is a legendary fighter. He's maybe a little bit past his best, but nevertheless, he's very, very dangerous, and he couldn't afford to take any risks. He took a little one towards the end there, last 30 seconds. You know, I'm sure the fans would have loved the fight to be like that all the way through, but no risks. We head to Windsor Park.
Indeed. Jamie, congratulations on coming up with that game plan. Frank, you're the man that can make Windsor Park happen. You've heard what Carl Frampton wants to do. How likely is Windsor Park? Who's it likely to be next? You've got the IBF title taking place at Ellen Road. Lee Selby, Josh Warrington. Is that going to be, the winner of that contest, going to be next for Carl at Windsor Park in the summer?
Well, first of all, do the fans want Windsor Park? Well, we're going to do Windsor Park. In Windsor Park in August, we're going to be there, and obviously all the bits will fall into place regarding who the opponent is over the next month or so. But Windsor Park is the next one. We promised it to Carl. We deliver.
Carl, how excited are you about the prospect of fighting outside Windsor Park this summer?
Everyone knows how excited I am. I can't wait for it, and there's not a man on this planet at featherweight that's going to beat me at Windsor Park. But I want to say one thing. Apparently there was another show somewhere else tonight. Tommy Coyle done the business. Well done, Tommy, and I'll see you next week.
Congratulations, Carl. Congratulations to all of Team Frampton on delivering a terrific win and winning that interim WBO title tonight. We look forward to seeing you at Windsor Park in the summer.